Because as soon as I got to the exam, I got totally blank. As soon as I got to the exam and I saw the question paper and I saw all the questions we wanted us to answer, I got blank. So I was on a hot seat, you guys. I was literally on a hot seat. I was very desperate, I was very anxious, and I was very emotional. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Esther. Thank God it's Friday. Happy Friday, you guys. I don't know if you're going to be watching this video on a Friday, but if you are, comment down below #TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. So I'm dressed a little bit different today because it is Friday. Yeah. So today I'm going to be talking about a story time. You guys, this is my first story time on this channel, but it's an educational story time. Basically, I'm going to tell you guys how I got blank in an exam hall. Like, totally. You guys, I'm an 8th grade student, meaning that I'm on a pretty high GPA. Now, 8th grade students don't normally go blank in an exam hall. I'm just going to tell you guys what led to me going blank in the exam hall, what happened in the exam hall when I went blank, how I resolved it or did not resolve it, what was my grade in that course at the end of the day, what happened. Basically, I'm telling you things that led to that point, from before to during to after. So you guys, every single thing is going to be covered in this video so that you can learn from my lesson. You guys, you don't want to go blank in an exam hall. It's very wrong. It's very painful, it's very scary, especially if you've been maintaining a particular grade for some years now, and suddenly one useless stupid exam just come and want to fall your hand. So if you want to know how not to go blank in an exam hall, or perhaps you just want to hear and enjoy a good story, then you came to the right place. This is for you. One of the reasons why I went blank in that exam is because I was doing major cramming. Like, I was cramming a lot of things, you guys, so many things. First of all, that was the very first theory exam that I was writing in college. Before then, we've been writing objective exams. So now, because of the fact that a blank answer sheet, like a blank booklet, is going to be given to us for us to fill in, I'm going to be giving questions with no hint of the answers. I was so scared, like I was deadly scared, very scared. So I went for night class the previous day. You guys, for example, today is the exam. So the exam was by 3 p.m. So it was an afternoon exam, right? And it was the very first exam we were writing. So what I did, because of fear, I went for night class the night too. I arrived at night class 7 p.m. the previous day. So basically, I did not sleep or read in my hostel. I left the hostel to go to an empty class within school because I was living in campus at the time. So I left my hostel. I packed all the things that I would need to write my exam. Basically, my bag was stuffed full. I packed a change of clothes. I packed every single thing. I packed a toothbrush. I packed every single thing that I would need. I packed perfumes. I packed everything. I stuffed it all into my bag, and then I went for night class by 7 p.m. the previous day. I arrived there. I already got food to eat from my hostel, so I just ate. And from there onward, you guys, I read from that 7 p.m. until the next day. I probably would have slept 1 or 2 hours within that period, but you guys, I was majorly reading because of fear. So I was absolutely scared. So normally when people would go for night class, they usually would go back to their hostels or their houses by 5 a.m. the next day, so they can sleep and refreshing up themselves and clean up and all of those stuff. But I didn't do that, you guys. You know what I did? By that 5 a.m., when people were leaving the classroom to go to their respective places they were coming from, I stayed till 8 a.m. when they opened the actual daytime library. I went to the library and I stayed there till 2:45 p.m. You guys, my head was hurting. I was tired. I was feeling depressed, scared, angry, tired, and confused. You guys, that was one of the worst exams of my life. Because I was very hungry, I was very tired, I was very uncomfortable, totally. My body was not used to that kind of treatment. But yeah, because it's exam now, the adrenaline and the fear kept on edging me on. I was so scared that if I went back home to go and see me sleep, I would sleep off and forget about my exam because I have not yet slept all night. I did not want to waste any hours going to go and eat, going to go and talk to friends. I just wanted to read and do really well. Okay guys, all of that backfired because as soon as I got to the exam, I got totally blank. As soon as I got to the exam and I saw the question paper and I saw all the questions we wanted us to answer, I got blank. They went to go and put me right in front of the invigilators. Like there were over 10 invigilators in that exam and they put me right in front of them, and all of them were gisting and talking about their life issues throughout the exam. You guys, I could not focus on anything because I was already blank. Questions were already making me anxious and I was already just feeling put out and out of it, and coupled with the fact that the invigilators were talking about their life issues, I got totally blank. I didn't remember any single thing, and for the first 1 hour I was totally blank. And then there was this particular invigilator that kept on coming to where I was and started making these jibes at me and trying to like put me off. He was not talking in my ear, not in my ear but like at my side where I was sitting. She was right at the side of where I was and kept on talking to the entire class. So she was raising her voice. Man, she was right beside me, so that her voice was just entering my ears. She was saying things like, people should not be scared, keep on writing, right? So when you see the question and you get scared, they're going to go blank, you forget everything that you've ever written. She was disturbing me. I get that she was trying to calm the whole class down, but it really was not working because people had already gone blank. People like me that she was shouting in her ears. And there was nothing I could do because I was a student. I could not just tell invigilators that they should shut up, that I'm going blank, I'm trying to think. So there was literally nothing I could do. So for the first, it was a 3-hour exam, and for the first hour I did not write anything. I did not know what to write. Minutes after minutes, 10 minutes passed, 20 minutes passed, I was blank, and I was sitting down amongst people that I did not know, so no one there could assure me. Everyone around me did not know anything, and I was sitting down in front of the invigilator like I said. So it was just between me, my books, and the invigilator. So I was totally put out. Now at this stage I started to get very scared, very desperate, and very emotional because I'm naturally emotional and I'm very concerned by my grades. So concern plus emotionalism plus desperation leads to a disaster. So I was all of those things in the exam, which is the worst thing to ever feel in an exam hall. You want to be calm in an exam, right? But I was very far from calm, and this was how the first 1 hour of the exam just went. Plus I obviously knew that if I didn't do well in this exam, then it was going to affect my grades in my other exams. Both the exams are written in the past, plus the exams I'm going to write in the future. Everything is going to go down the drain just because of one paper that I had gone totally blank in. So I was on a hot seat, you guys. I was literally on a hot seat. I was very desperate, I was very anxious, and I was very emotional. So what did I do next? I just rested my head on the table for the next 10 minutes. So that was 1 hour 10 minutes. And when I rested my head on the table, I just began to think about what my parents had told me, what my spiritual mentors had told me. Everybody had assured me that I was going to do well. All the encouragements my parents had told me before, every good thing about me that I could remember that had been told about me academically, I said to remember it. All the hours, all the grudging hours I had spent reading the night before, all the hours I had spent reading from the beginning of the semester, even the day before the semester began, I began to remember all the work that I've put in, all the stress, all the effort, all the sacrifice, all the things I had to let go of. I started to remember every single one of them in that 10 minutes. And eventually I just got up, raised my head, looked at the questions again. 1 or 2 ideas were coming to my mind. I just started writing. I wrote the heading of the first question and I started writing word by word. It's like a word will come to me, like for instance, I was asked to define nutrition. I will say nutrition is the ability to study. I'll write that one. Maybe I don't know what's supposed to come after it, but I'll first write that one. Then when I've not reached there, I'll not think again. Next one will not come to me, I'll not write it. But it's like I did not figure everything out at once. Like I was right. The more I wrote, the more some things came to me. So like the more I wrote a word, the next word will come. The more I wrote a sentence, the next sentence will come. So that's why I just ended up finishing the remaining hours of the exam. So it was remaining just like 1 hour and some minutes. Now I used it to answer 4 questions. Alright, I was supposed to answer 5 questions, but I did not have enough time to answer 5 questions because of all the time that I had already spent trying to think, because of all the 1 hour and some minutes that I already gone blank. So the few hours I had, I answered only 4 out of 5 questions, and each question was supposed to be 20 marks. So that means I answered just like 80 marks out of 100 marks, and I lost 20 marks. So I didn't answer an entire question. And the painful part was that I hadn't even realized that I did not answer an entire question until after the exam was over. You guys, I was so disoriented and put out that I thought that I was supposed to answer 4 instead of 5 questions. So that's why I lost 20 marks total. Guys, it was so bad that I actually briefly thought about, like, during that 1 hour that I was totally blank, I thought about just taking an excuse that I wanted to go and ease myself and just actually leave the exam hall for like 5 minutes and just go through my notes. You guys, the way I've gotten blank, I needed just like 1 word or 1 sentence to remember every single thing I've ever read. Like, for example, you know when people cram and they use acronyms and stuff like that, so you use an acronym to cram an entire book. What happens when you forget the acronym in itself? So I was trying to look for a way to go and get like the first sentence, like the first word, so that once I remember that one thing, every other thing will fall out. Like, as if it was locked in my brain, sort of. Like, I was that desperate. Let me just go through the note again for like 5 minutes and every single thing is gonna come rushing back. That's what I was thinking, that's what I was contemplating, like during that period when I'd gone blank, the 1 hour 10 minutes. But you guys, exam is very scary and sacred to me. That was not something that I probably would have had the mind to do, because I was seeing that paper as just one paper. I mean, if I were caught, that would jeopardize my entire 4-year academic career just for one paper. And I knew that academics was something that I wanted to do for a very long time, like for the long term. So I could not afford to jeopardize the entire academic line for me just because of one paper that I could have easily rewritten again if I failed. So I ended up sitting down on my seat and I ended up not going anywhere, so I did not do it again. And one lecturer in particular was just going on and on and on about how to fail honorably. It's good to fail honorably rather than cheat and spy and pass. It's very, very good to fail honorably. Fail with pride. There is no pride in failure. In my opinion, there is no pride in failure. If you fail, you fail. But he kept on going on and on about that, and further distracting me, of course, because all of them were busy talking. But eventually I finished answering just 4 out of 5 questions, which of course was very devastating compared to the way I had read for that exam all night and into the morning and into the afternoon. But there was nothing I could do. So the next thing was to go home, sleep, pray, wait, and prepare for my next exam, because that was just the first paper in a long series of exams. And afterwards, my dad called me after the exam. Father usually calls me after every exam just to ask me how it went and just give me that emotional support that I need. You guys, I need emotional support a lot. During school, during tests, during exams, my loved ones are always there for me, which I'm very grateful for. So yeah, my father called me and I just told him that I went blank the first 1 hour and I could not write anything. And at the end of the day, I had just 4 out of 5 questions, and this was a 3 credit load course, which means that it had a very high bearing on my GPA. My dad just advised me and told me that it was okay, it was alright, I've written what I could write, I should not put my mind anymore on it, and I should just go home, rest, sleep, eat, bathe, and prepare for my next paper, which was what I just did. Like, I just followed that advice to the latter. I just tried as much as possible to put that entire ordeal off my mind. So you guys, I'm that kind of person that once something bad happens to me, it kind of cancels out every other good thing that happens. So you guys, when I was done talking to my dad, I finally got to my hostel, but I still could not let go of that exam and how terrible and utterly devastated I felt. So what I did was I got at the calculator and started calculating for the next 2 to 3 hours possible outcomes for that exam. You guys, I'm not kidding at all. I kept on calculating different possibilities of what I was going to get, and I already knew that I had forfeited an entire question of 20 marks, so the most I could get was 80, but I could not get 80 obviously because I had forgotten a lot of things. I kept on calculating different possibilities. Could I get an A? Could I get a B? What this would mean for my entire GPA? You guys, I calculated for over hours, over an hour, over 2 hours. I was just calculating and feeling sad and terrible and miserable, and eventually I crashed. You know what crash is? As in, I slept, with all the clothes, with all that exhaustion, I crashed on the bed till the next day. You guys, thank God I don't have exam the next day. That would have just been terrible and I've ended up in premium tears. Thankfully, it was the upper day that I had an exam. So you guys, this is just a very terrible experience for me. This is like something I'll never forget in my history. In the history of my life, I will always know that the first exam that I wrote in college, I got blank. So you guys, this was an interesting story. Learn from this experience, Don't do it. Don't try it at home. It's wrong. If you're feeling sleepy when you're reading, I know you have read for a very long period of time, especially as you have exam the next day, please go and sleep. Go and eat. Refreshing up. The exam is not running away, which is why we always start reading very early in the semester. As soon as the semester begins, we'll start reading. So we avoid scenarios like this. We don't crash. And the exam just goes smoothly for us. So alright, you guys, if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment down below what you think. What are your thoughts? Have you ever gotten black in an exam hall below? Share your experience with us down below. Bye, you guys. I will see you guys in my next video. Why are you still here? You don't want to go? Bye. Stay beautiful, stay true, stay loved, stay blessed. Bye. You know, we're done. I dey come, you guys. Prepare the script so that I don't veer off point. Amen. Well. Alright. You guys want to know why I'm using pegs on this? Go check out my video where I talk about YouTube and how I shoot my YouTube videos. You guys gonna know why. Okay. Wow. Okay. Trying to set this up. You guys, I'm usually running late. I'm supposed to go to church in like 30 minutes time. I probably will not even finish this video on this outfit because I have to change this outfit for church. So I will start and then I'll finish later.